The comeback of every casual's favourite fighter is just around the corner. I'm excited, you're excited, your nan's excited for Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway 2. I'm going to go through the entire main card and I'm going to give you my picks for each fight. We're going to start off with the absolute banger main card opener of King Green versus Terence McKinney. I'm not going to lie, but this is a guaranteed finish. To whoever it is, I don't know, I don't care. It's going to be a fantastic fight. King Green is just always forward, hands down, and Terence McKinney, I don't think, has ever been out of the first round in his entire UFC career. I think it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this fight will not go past the first 5 minutes. Let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. I think I'm going to edge it to Terence McKinney. I think he impressed me a lot more in his last fight than Bobby Green did. If you need a reminder, Terence McKinney knocked out Kyle Nelson in like 25 seconds at UFC Mexico. King Green beat Jeremy Stevens, who, let's be honest, should have been on the couch. That was the uncough of the century, and he still didn't really impress me all that much. I think I'm going to take Terence McKinney by first round TKO. Moving on to one of my favourite fights on this card, Brandon Royval versus Lanier Kavanagh. This fight 110% has title implications on it, without a doubt. Lanier Kavanagh just came off beating Brandon Moreno on short notice after getting knocked out by Charles Johnson. It makes no sense. I'm not going to lie, it makes absolutely zero sense. Brandon Royval is just off getting KO'd in the first round to Manel Kape, who is probably going to fight for the title next, so it's not that bad for Brandon Royval. But if he loses this fight, Brandon Royval is in a bad spot in his flyweight career, I think, if he loses here to Lanier Kavanagh. And I'm going to be honest, I actually think I like Lanier Kavanagh in this matchup. I think he's a better striker, he's quicker in my opinion. I think he'll get inside and hit Brandon Royval with a big shot early and just set the momentum for the rest of the fight. So do you know what? I'm going to go for Lanier Kavanagh by unanimous decision because this is a 3-round fight. There's going to be a lot of volume in this because but both of them like to go forward, both of them like to throw a lot of strikes. I think Kavanagh's going to edge it and probably maybe a fight of the night contender. So I'm going to go for Lanier Kavanagh by unanimous decision in this one. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista is the featured fight of this card. Very, very good fight. But what the hell is it going to take for the UFC to make Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley? This genuinely feels like one of them fights where we're going to look back at it in like 5-10 years time and be like, oh, this is top 10 fights we were robbed of getting. It'll be in that like Jones and Ngannou, Jones Aspinall kind of like bracket. Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen, yeah, definitely on that tier. As for this matchup, I can see an upset. I can honestly see Mario Bautista taking this. I think he's a better grappler. I think obviously on the stand-up, obviously Corey Sandhagen is a lot better than Bautista. But I don't know, I think I can just sense the upset. Corey Sandhagen nearly got finished by Merab in his last fight. That was his last fight, the Merab fight. So he's not fought in quite a while. He's not fought since the start of October last year. Mario Bautista's just fresh off that really impressive win over Vinicius Oliveira. I think Bautista's going to take this one. I think Bautista's going to take this by decision. I can just see that happening. Bautista, I think, is just getting better every single fight. I think he's learnt from the Umar loss. He's learnt from the Aldo stuff. He looked really good against Patchy Mix. But, you know, a 3-year-old could look good against Patchy Mix. But it's still a very, very good win. I'm going to take Mario Bautista by unanimous decision in this one. Co-main event time. Justice has been served. Benoit Saint Denis is ranked higher than Paddy Pimblett, as he should. And guys, I don't know about you, but this is going to be the statement win. This is going to be the statement fight for BSD. He's going to go out there and absolutely run through Paddy Pimblett. I'm not even joking on this one. Benoit Saint Denis is going to take him down, control him. The elbows, the clinch work. Paddy is not going to be able to withstand it. I promise you that. Now, apologies for not knowing this, but I'm not sure if this is a 3-round or a 5-round fight. Honestly, if this were a 5-round fight, I would probably favour Pimblett more. But I think either way, I'm still going to go for BSD, because I think BSD is going to finish Paddy Pimblett within 3 rounds anyway. I think it's going to be similar to the Dan Hooker fight, where he controls him on the ground and he TKOs him to just repeated ground and pound, maybe a mix of elbows, just everything. I think BSD is going to be too much for Pimblett. I think he's going to eat a lot of early shots, the low kicks that Paddy always starts off with. I think when BSD starts to get forward, Paddy may land a big uppercut. But BSD is going to withstand it. I think he's got a really good chin. Probably one of the best chins in the lightweight division. So yeah, I think I'm going to take BSD by round 3. Mid-round 3 TKO. And now, for the main event that we've all been waiting for. Conor McGregor coming back after 5 days off 5 years to take on Max Holloway. There's only going to be one outcome here, guys, let's be honest. Even the most hardcore McGregor fans will tell you that he is about to get dominated. He is going to lose this fight handily to Max Holloway. Max Holloway, even though he had that loss to Charles Oliveira, he's shown no signs of slowing down. Just because he got controlled by Charles Oliveira doesn't mean he's finished. Look at these fights he's taken. It's as if he knows it. Max Holloway can still hang with the best of the best. This is just his payday, and then he'll be right back to contenders for Max Holloway, because I think he's going to dominate Conor McGregor and finish him late on when McGregor is tired. Although my early prediction for kind of the early rounds is I think McGregor's going to land big. I think McGregor's going to land big and then expend a lot of his energy trying to go for the finish, and that will be his demise. Max Holloway will capitalise on that, put a clinic on him in the later rounds, and finish him in about round 4 or 5. That is my prediction. Max Holloway by round 4 KO puts McGregor out cold. Before we end up, if you're interested in any of my prelims predictions, because there's some pretty decent ones in here. Robert Whittaker versus Nikita Krylov, Robert Whittaker's light heavyweight debut. It's a very difficult one. Krylov's very crafty. He's obviously experienced in the light heavyweight division. I think I'm still going to take Rob to win this one by maybe a close decision, maybe a split. I don't think it very surprises me very much that Rob is the underdog going into this fight, as the bookies have it. Gable Stevenson's UFC debut is also on the prelims. He is the by far biggest favourite on the card, by no surprise, because of this American wrestling tax that these guys have. He's the heavyweight Bo Nickel. He's fighting a can. He's going to win this fight, probably by submission or an early KO. I'm going to pick him to win in the first round. Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez is not as close as we think. I think Yanez is going to win this one by decision. Cody Garbrandt did not deserve to win against that Chinese guy, let's be honest. If he didn't land those ball shots, the Chinese guy would have won. Cody Garbrandt's finished. This could be his last fight in the UFC. I'm going to take Yanez to win this. Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka III. I honestly don't know much about Kai Kamaka III, but I'm going to pick Luke Riley. He has kind of impressed me in his UFC career so far. I think he always seems to start slow but ends up finding the finish. That's what happened against Bogdan Grad. That was the very impressive one to me. I think Luke Riley's going to get this one done. And some early prelims, I guess. Tracy Cortez versus Wang Kong. This is tough to call, I think, but I'm going to take Tracy Cortez. I think she's just more experienced in the division, and I think Wang Kong is just overrated as hell. And that'll do it. That is my predictions for most fights on UFC 329. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm having a stinker? Do you think I'm a genius? Let me know.